Okay, this video is to help you put together your stop motion video, your stop motion video after you have all of your pictures. We're working in Windows Movie Maker, and this is on the little laptop, so you can usually find it as a shortcut on the desktop. If you look at what we've got here, we've got some different areas that you should be aware of. First of all, I've got this side over here. This is kind of like quick links to various things. This is the collections area, okay, where we're going to find various collections. Of course, there's a drop-down menu here for the same things. You can see that there's a list here for tasks, so sometimes you have a list of tasks, but we like to be in the collections mode. This over here is a playback window, so you can do some playing on watching your video as you're putting it together. Down here is the storyboard option, so you can look at things in terms of a storyboard. And then we also have a timeline. Today we'd like to work in storyboard mode because we want to just be able to drop some pictures in. We also want to do some double checks here to make sure that the program itself is functioning well. So I'm going to go up here to Tools and down to Options. And the first thing we like to check, because we're doing a stop motion, is we like to make sure that the picture duration is at 1/4 of a second. So in other words, one picture is only going to show up for 0.25 seconds. It's important to double check this before you import any pictures, because this will be the import time associated with all pictures. The other thing that we like to look at is sometimes you get some problems working with Windows Movie Maker, and so we want to make sure that the auto recovery is on, and it's currently set for every 10 minutes, so if something were to crash, at least we'd be able to go back during the last 10 minutes. Okay, so those are the kind of two things that we like to check from that menu. I'm going to say OK, and now I'm going to do some importing the pictures. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to File, go down to Import into Collections, and we're going to look for pictures. You really need to find where your pictures are. So again, you can see that what I did is I got my pictures here in block 1. It's in a new folder, and so that's the set of pictures that I want. I need to make sure that I highlight all of my pictures, and the way that I select all of them is to use the Control A key. And when I do that, oops, excuse me, I want to go back here. So I'm going to go to File, Import into Collections, and I'm going to click on one of my pictures, and I'm going to do Control A. Control A actually selects all of the items that are in that set, and then I just click Import. And now what I'm getting is I'm getting all of my pictures, and they're all coming in the order that I want them to. And so you can see that all my pictures are there. Now to create the video, I'm just going to take my imported pictures, do a Control A again, so I'm going to select all of them because I want them in this order. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drag them down and drop them onto the storyboard. So the storyboard's going to go ahead and put them all in there for me. Now, if you took pictures on more than one day, you probably need to import 2 batches of pictures. So this was my first batch of pictures. My second batch of pictures, I can do this. I can make a new collection. Okay, so I've got a new collection. I can call this one like Day 2 Pictures. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to import into my collection. So I'm just going to go File, Import, and again, select my pictures, and then my pictures will be in. Then I'll have a set of pictures here. I just select all of those, drag them and drop them on, and so then I can bring in multiple batches of pictures. Now once I have all my pictures in place, you usually want to go through and just double check to make sure that it plays well. So I'm going to go ahead and rewind to the storyboard to the first picture and just check a little quick play to make sure that everything's playing the way that I expect it to. It looks like it is working. I only have 8 seconds of video here. You're supposed to have either 15 or 20 seconds worth. Now once I have my video started, I need to put a title on this. So again, we go back up to our tools, and there's something called Titles and Credits. And when you select the titles and credits, you can then go ahead and put titles at the beginning. So I'm going to call this one The Kickball. Okay, and it's going to be by me. All right. And you can see that it does a little preview over here. Now there are some features that you can do, so you can actually change title animations. So you can change how we want it to be. So maybe I want it to come in like dripping paint. Okay, so that might be something I could do, or I could do in a scroll bar. Okay, or there you go. I might go with something like that. Again, I can then go to changing things like the font and the colors. Okay, so those are all things that you can kind of choose to do. We'll just throw a different font on there. So again, you can kind of choose whatever you'd like to do as far as it goes with your video and setting up your customized stuff. Okay, when you're done, you just say done and add it to the movie. It throws the title on at the very beginning. So now I have a title. It'll play. I'll just do a little check here to make sure that everything works well. So yes, it does. There's my video. Okay, and then when I get to the end, if I wanted to, I could put credits on the end. That's not required for this project, but that's something that you can play with if you ever wanted to make other videos. Now the important thing is when you're done and you're happy with your video, you've got all your pictures set where you want them to. And by the way, if I wanted to, I could rearrange this by just grabbing a picture and dragging it, so you can drag them around to put them in different orders. But again, if you have all your pictures taken the right way, you just import them all numerically and it'll be fine. Okay, so now I need to save this, and I'm going to save this as a movie file. Okay, I could save it as a project, but a project just means that I can come back to work on it at a later date. So if you're not done with this and you wanted to work on it later, you could save it as a project. But when I'm done with this and I want to actually share this in class, I'm going to go ahead and save this as a movie file. So I click on the Save Movie. I'm going to select my computer as the location where I want to save it. I'm going to give it a name. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that I locate it in some place where I can find it. And you can see that it's saving it in that Block 1 folder, and that's fine for me for today. So I'm going to go ahead and say Next, and it's going to go through and ask you what kind of saving do you want, and I'll say yes, that looks good. And now it's going to go ahead and save. So this is going to take a little bit of time, and that's one of the things that you have to understand. The computer itself is taking all those pictures and threading them together to make a seamless movie. So that's what this process is doing. It's called rendering. Okay, so we're rendering our movie. All right, you can see that we're down to about 30 seconds or so. And the next process after this is to actually upload the video so that I can share it to get a grade. Okay. All right, so it looks like it's done. We can play it if we want to when we're finished. I don't need to do that. Okay, so I don't need to play it when I'm finished. I think it'll be okay, so I'm just going to say finish. Now at this point, again, we've got the movie. The movie itself is done. I'm just going to minimize this and show you that the movie itself is still here. Okay, there's my movie right there called The Kickball. And now I want to actually bring this movie onto Google so that I can actually share it. So we're bringing up our Gmail. Okay, I'm back here now, and I've got my Google account open up, so I'm looking at all my documents. And again, this is from your Drive, so if you click on Drive, you get a page that's going to look like this, and this is all your documents. What we're going to do is we're going to upload our video right now. So we go to Files, Upload and Files, and then we select our video, and you can see that I've got my kickball video selected. And I'm going to say OK, and we're just going to go ahead and let it start uploading. So we let it start uploading. You can see that it's uploading there and it's finished. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to click on this little button over here that says Share. Okay, and this is our sharing for it, and you want to make sure that you actually share with my, so So you want to make sure that you put my name in here, and so it's Paul, and then I should be this one right here with the bhmschools.org, and make sure that it's set so that I can edit, and then you just click share and save, and that'll go ahead and put your video so that I can give it a grade. And any questions, see me in class. You just click done, and you should have your video there. And if you want, you can even check out your video and you can watch it to see how it showed up. But you see that it doesn't show right now because it takes some time to process. So that's one of the things that it will eventually come up and you'll be able to see it. Anyways, again, if you have questions, see me in class.